I'm over here now.
Across America with Jimmy Fallon. If you're watching on Fox Nation, I'm doing a little multitasking. We've got a guest in studio.
We do?
But I'm trying to send Jenny a picture of my junk. I kid, it's not Jenny. Raul, if you're listening. I kid. Superstar columnist for the Daily Mail. Your favorite Fox News contributor rolls back into the station. The K train is here. All aboard.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you this, man?
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm calibrated to hate everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. My job is to hate what I do, to have an abusive Joe Jackson stage dad that yells at
With
Michael
yourself?
all week long. Yeah, you know, that's how you edit. But you know,
Jim.
no, but this is the job. The job is to be, you know, you call that a dance move, Michael? You know what I mean? That whole thing. And then right before I go on live.
You got a big nose.
Yeah, right before with your big nose. Michael, why don't you get in there, rehearse with your big nose? But right before I go on stage every Saturday night, the abusive stage dad's like, you look good, Michael. And I'm like, oh my God. And we have a great time on the show. Mm-hmm. So knowing I'm calibrated all week long to just hate it to the moon and back, I just randomly came across a clip of you and Shalou on Saturday night. It is so funny. It is, and I'm in the clip.
Yeah.
So, which
Well
I'm not
done,
calibrated to like it.
You cast it?
It was so funny. So we were talking about Melania Trump. Okay. And, you know, you had a couple of takes on the magazine. And at some point, the phrase deep fried old lady labia might have made it into the conversation. I'm not.
We were talking about conch fritters in Key West.
I don't know what was happening.
We were talking about the couple
that's what it was. That's where.
body congress
That's
on
what it
the
was.
sidewalk in Key
So
West.
it was mob rule. That was the segment.
Yeah.
So they had posted it. It was in my feed. I laughed. So it was just so funny. It was such a good time. Nobody's
great
having
time.
a better time than us.
Absolutely not.
Your Honor. Nobody. Not
that
guilty.
means something.
That's got to matter. Fun. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're having a good time. So let me ask you this. As a practicing libertarian, they are trying to cut government right now.
It is my erotica.
It's right? This is like a
I
dream
am
come true.
constantly aroused. Like this is, I never thought I would see this moment because about 7 years ago, Thomas Massey, who is a Kentucky congressman, put forth a bill to abolish the Department of Education.
I'm listening.
And everyone's like, ha ha, that's so funny, Thomas. You're such an extremist. But, you know, he really authored that bill in Congress. And he has it framed on his office wall, which, you know, is open to the public. You can go see it anytime.
It's so magical.
But, you know, he's a true believer. And now this stuff is really happening. And you know, we never knew how we were going to get here. We knew we had to get here, but we didn't know how. It obviously was not through the Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
You know, God bless.
But that's all right. You got
all of the adherents who
different
love limited
vessel.
government. Yes, but that's, you know, I'm one of the people who's probably a little bit more practical. And like, we have to get there somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you know, going, well, you know, we got more of the vote this time than ever before. Yet 3.1% is nothing to sneeze at. Okay. All right. But so, you know, this is what it took. And it took someone who was president, who then wasn't president, who was really mad about not being president, who really, really wanted to be president, who couldn't be president unless he built a coalition.
Yep.
And part of the coalition was limited government, philosophical libertarians, some of whom are in the Libertarian Party, others are independents, others are Republicans, very, very few are Democrats. But in order to appeal to them, he had to make promises. But unlike every other person who has ever run for president who doesn't make good on their promises, who they're just like, yeah, it's like, you know, lines you drop at a bar when you're trying to pick up a beautiful woman. You know, it's like you don't really mean it. You don't really love her. You're not going to get engaged. You're not going to sail around the world on a yacht. But he's like, we've all got a ring on our finger and we've boarded the yacht.
Bang!
I'm good with it.
This is a dream come true for the K-Train and the Libertarians because, yes, it took some creative maneuvering.
And he also pardoned Ross Ulbright. So everyone can calm down. Everyone wants to be mad. Everyone wants to be mad.
When they say okay, to the point you made. Like, we didn't vote for Elon Musk. We actually did because Trump campaigned on this. Like,
yes, but he also campaigned on these ideas, and Elon Musk we're going to create this department that's going to cut government waste, and limited government people forever have been saying there are too many redundancies, there are too many departments, government is too big, there's too much taxation. This is awful. We need to cut. And everyone's like, oh, no, we can't do that. Yep. Oh, what would happen to the deep state? But so Maxine Waters is screaming about, who elected Elon Musk? Well, who elected the deep state? Who elected all of the bureaucrats that populate 95% of Washington? Yes. Should we get rid of them as well?
No, and that's great because I have this Elizabeth Warren clip that I'm sure you've heard by now. Can we Elizabeth Warren this for a second? Because it's so much fun. It's clip. Yep. By the way, they cut my tomahawk chop out of the show the other night.
Shame.
Take it up with the EP when you see him. Cut it off. He's like, you can't say that. I was like, what do you say whatever you want? It's Saturday night. Here we go, clip 14.
In the building behind me, Elon Musk is seizing power from the American people. We are here to fight back. A few months ago, Elon Musk spent $280 million to buy an election for Donald Trump.
I know.
Now, Elon Musk is here to collect on his investment.
Okay, that's enough. So understand, $280 million to buy an election for Donald Trump conveniently omits the fact that it was not a fifth of how much money billionaires threw at Kamala Harris to buy an election for her.
No.
Nor was there any concern when billionaires in 2020 spent, Mark Zuckerberg, $450 million on Biden.
No.
So that's the fraud of this.
It's completely hypocritical. And that's why, and all this stuff doesn't resonate that we're going to fight back.
How?
That might have worked 4 years ago. That might have worked 8 years ago. It doesn't work now because people are like, no, actually, I want my taxes to be lower. And, you have bent me over and had your way with me, and it didn't feel good. And I'm taking my power back, and I'm taking my power to CVS and buying lube.
Kennedy's here, keeping it kid-friendly as always. We always say our act, fun for the whole family, that family being the Manson family. And you know what? We can't say
just eat it up.
We can't say it today, but we have a live comedy day coming up in the Northeast region that I think is going to knock the world socks off.
I don't think they know what's coming.
We're not allowed to say it. Emphasis on coming. Stick with me here. So we're talking about what's happening.
Yep.
The Warren thing I loved. You mentioned Maxine Waters. There's even this other thing, which is the Ayanna Pressley tactic. And I bring this up because what I've noticed is there's this standard playbook that you mentioned earlier. It worked for a long time, but it doesn't now. It's either some class warfare, you're selling us out for the billionaires, you're a Nazi, or Ayanna Pressley doing both. Listen to this one, clip 12.
Elon Musk is a Nazi nipple baby. A godless, lawless billionaire who no one elected. Elon, this is the American people. This is not your trashy Cybertruck that you can just dismantle, pick apart, and sell the pieces of.
Yeah, first of all, we should have gave you a warning about the volume clap back from her.
Wow, she is, first of all of that is a bald-faced lie.
Yep.
Second of all, she's so screechy and unappealing and hysterical, and hysteria isn't what played this election. And the fact that they don't understand that, it shows that they have no empathy for the people who voted for something completely different.
Yep.
Because what they have been given, emotions, hysteria, big government, it has not worked for them.
No, and that's the point. You're not going to scream your way back. Screaming is not persuasive. And maybe there was a moment when social pressure campaigns could get you the reaction you wanted out of a corporation. But we are, to your point, beyond that. But what I realize in this moment is so much of the Democrats' public posture is predicated on, it's an old scam. It's called the lemon drop. It's a Times Square hustle. You'll know it the minute I describe it. So guys walk around in heavily trafficked tourist areas in New York. This goes on. This is, 100-year-old trick. Guy's walking around with an actual broken pair of glasses in his hands. And he finds a tourist who's like looking up at a building, bumps into him, drops the glasses on the ground. He's like, watch where you going, brother. You broke my glasses.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? You can't be breaking.
Here's
the guy's like,
$100.
what do you mean? Yeah. I need $200 right now. Because like, I'm not giving you two. I didn't. Police. This man broke police. And the guy will just give him the money and make him go away.
Wow.
But that's the Democrats.
Yeah.
That's a lemon drop.
That's horrible.
Watch where you're going, brother.
What
You
a
just
horrible
Adolf
thing.
Hitler.
Yeah,
You're like, no,
it's
I
like
didn't Adolf Hitler.
The squat and swoop.
Yeah. But
I saw that on an Allstate commercial.
that's an old lemon drop. Do you want another Times Square hustle?
Yeah.
It's a great one. You're not ready for this.
I would like to think I'm ready for it, but, I've
You and
overestimated
me-
my abilities in the past.
You and me could pull this off. We could actually, if you're listening, okay, and you own a diner in the tri-state area, okay, just know that, we mean well, okay, but you can pull this off. Just hear me out, okay? It's
I'm
little
listening.
trick. Happens usually in cities, okay? So you and me are partners, unbeknownst to everyone in this diner, because we're not there together. So you're eating with who you're eating with in one booth. I'm eating with who I'm eating with in another booth. Mm-hmm. My job is to finish the meal first, go up to the register and be like, this is so embarrassing. I come here a lot. I don't have my wallet. Okay, I live upstairs. I'll obviously go get it. I'm not running out on the bill. I'm telling you so you know I'm a man of integrity. In fact, I'll leave you my cello. I'm a cellist. You can hold on to my cello till I get back. Okay, and I'm so sorry to do this to you, but I'll be right. I will sprint. I will be right back. So, all right, yeah, great. You leave, okay? You then approach the counter to pay your bill. Mm-hmm. Notice the cello and identify yourself as a purchaser of rare instruments and say, oh, my God, this cello is worth like $500,000. Like, if you have papers for that, I will buy this cello off you right now. Now, obviously, he can't sell you the cello, but he can buy it off me when I get back and try to make a deal with you. Okay, and that's how the scam works. And
Stop
he
it. That's
ultimately,
great.
Yeah, so I come back to pay for the meal, and the guy's like, don't even worry about the meal. I want to talk to you about your cello. Okay, my kid took up the cello. He loves the cello. I'll give you $5,000. You're like, no, what are you, out of your mind? This cello's all I have in this world. $10,000, because he believes he has a concrete $500,000 sale. So lo and behold, he buys that cello off me. You ain't coming back.
Yeah.
And we meet in the back alley, and we split the money. But that is the clinical term for that.
Does it work with flutes? Because I do have my old flute from the elementary school band.
In your case, it's the skin flute.
Well,
so
it
I
is.
don't know.
It actually is.
You're right. The rent don't pay itself.
Well worn.
But stick with me. The clinical term for that is called a non-government organization. It's all the cello trick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you money for this.
I mean, but that's what USAID is.
Thank you.
It's third party people going, no, we're gonna solve this.
Yeah.
And we've got 7 board spots at $250,000 a piece because we're making the world better. We're saving the orphans in sub-Saharan Africa.
That's why we're going on this retreat and safari.
Yes.
And getting
we have to. I mean, it's a fact-finding mission.
Yeah.
We have to be rested when we get there, so we absolutely have to fly first class because we're going to hit the ground running. And when I say running, we're really rolling in a nice Land Cruiser open-air Jeep with several cocktails.
But when the terrain is rough, we have locals piggyback us up the mountain. They run.
They're like Sherpas.
They run.
On flat land.
But this is the point. So for the headlines are always going to come from, we spent money on this, DEI musical here, or this trans comic book there, and those are great for jokes. But the NGOs really are the scam. And what's so funny about it is it's called a non-government organization, but it can only exist with government funding.
Yes.
That's the scam. And that's what they're doing.
Without paying taxes.
Yeah, how about that? So it's a non-government organization. It runs on government money that we pay for. They're not taxed on the income, and they export whatever dopey woke ideology they want to.
Yes.
Scam. So the fact that this is going on and nobody is responding to it with a substantive argument. Nazi Nepo baby is not substantive.
Why is he a Nepo baby?
They claim his parents had money when they came from South Africa.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean, what are we doing here? And this is another point we should make about that. Okay.
And I love how AOC is like, he's the dumbest billionaire I've ever met. He doesn't even know math.
Dude,
what is he doing? Like, rockets are dumb.
She could be a billionaire if she was getting a kickback on all the prostitution she's allowing to go on in her district.
Absolutely.
I mean,
you think her district is a better place since she's been in Congress?
They call Queens Boulevard in her district the Boulevard of Sweethearts. Did you know that?
Tell me about the literacy rates. Tell me about the graduation rates. Tell me about homelessness and rape and violent crime. Have they all gone down? The literacy rates have.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the rape has gone up.
Yeah, up higher.
You switch those two and, might be able to say that she's effective at her job. She sucks more than I did on that flute.
but she's good on Instagram. She'll just come on and be like,
oh my God, you guys, I'm making a sweet potato salad. Elon Musk is so dumb. What is even $1 billion anyway?
But that's what we have here. And there's no substantive argument. And that's a tell. I always tell people this. If you're in a standoff with someone and they're arguing a point you're not making, okay, they're a scam. Okay. Or if they're trying to do what they were doing earlier in the week, which is the percentage thing. People in the media go, why is Elon going after this? It's only 1% of the spending. Okay. But that still doesn't make it okay. Like if I come home from the casino and Jenny's like, I can't believe you lost $9,000 at the blackjack table. And I go, oh, Jenny, stop with the blackjack. That's only 1% of what I lost in the casino. Okay. That doesn't make it better.
No.
The percentage argument is the biggest fraud of all of them.
Oh, my God.
It's trying to shift the argument to favorable terrain when there isn't none. And that's the point I was making. When they're going to Nazi Nepo baby, when they're going to Elon's seized control of the government. Okay?
Yeah, he's not elected.
Yeah, I know.
That's fine. Let's kick out all the non-elected people.
Hey, I love that. But the point is, when those are the arguments, and you notice they're not defending the spending. No one's getting on there and going, hey, these tax-exempt companies that the government pays for, called non-government organizations, that are doing whatever the hell they want, are okay.
Yeah.
They can't defend it. So they have to go to these other terms. That's where we are now. It's all a scam. It's either a lemon drop or a cello trick.
How do you think Kamala Harris lost over $1 billion? It's because she got $1 billion, and these were not grassroots donations.
Yeah.
That takes years. That takes, you need a foundation of time and a philosophy and loyal voters. She didn't have any of that.
Nope.
So you get $1 billion from billionaires.
Yep.
And she did what Elizabeth Warren is complaining about.
Yeah,
so if Elizabeth Warren isn't complaining about the exact same thing, that makes her a hypocrite.
Thank you. But enough about her DNA, right? I mean, yes, take us out on a tomahawk chop. Nothing's offensive anymore. Trump won. There goes the K train. We're back after this.
Critics are calling it the funniest show on the radio.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown and amuse you.
This is Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon.
I almost had it.
You're listening to Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon. For these stories and a lot more, log on to newstalkflorida.com. News, information, and talk. News Talk 1040 WHBO.
An a-hole.